I'm Jimmy Myers, head trainer of Tampa Bay Athletics, and I'm here today with InsideBaseball.com. Today we're going to go over one of the biggest bang for your buck exercises for your upper body, the push-up. This exercise is wonderful to use for building upper body strength. There's a few misconceptions that this is bad for baseball players to do. In some cases that's true. I'm going to show you a way where it's going to make sure you build that upper body strength without causing any injury or tightness to your shoulder. Your baseball players, we cannot have your shoulder getting tight. So I'm going to show you a few simple tricks to make sure you get this done properly. I'm going to show you a few very specific tricks to make sure this is done perfectly so we don't have any arm troubles whatsoever. We have to make sure that as a baseball player, you keep that arm very loose. So we want to make sure when we do this that you stretch afterwards, and we do this the exact way I'm going to show you. So one thing we're going to do, when we start this push-up, the first thing, like anything in baseball, we're going to start from the ground up. Hand placement should be directly underneath your shoulders. We don't want them out in front. We don't want them out to the side. Should be directly underneath those shoulders. Second thing, it's going to be a very specific little detail. We don't want the crease of your elbow facing in towards each other. They should be facing out. What that's going to allow us to do is bend that arm in a way to where the inside of our bicep is rubbing up against our ribs, utilizing more of your tricep, which is this muscle right back here, okay? So when we do this, we get in our position, toes are planted firmly in the ground, quads are squeezed, glutes are squeezed, so it's butt cheeks and legs, we're squeezed. We're in a good solid plank position. Notice my hands still directly underneath my shoulders. Now from here, biceps face forward, that little crease in my elbow. Now watch how tight the inside of my arms stay against my ribs. Notice where I stop. For baseball players, I don't want you going all the way to the ground. If you do, that could cause some tightness in your anterior deltoid, which is this area right here. If that gets tight, you don't have the same arm flexibility. You don't get that same arm action. You lose that whip, which can lose velocity. So we want to make sure inside of the biceps face forward. We're going to stop right at the point where our ribs are even with our triceps. We come back up. One way to make sure we can do that, I have a very simple yoga block here. You can get these for like $10, or take a stack of magazines, stack them up 3 or 4 inches. You're just trying to find a point to where you go down, it'll automatically stop you as a reminder, okay? So we're going to go down, elbows stay tight to the body, drive my palms through the ground, come back up. Down, come back up, noticing the entire time the inside of my biceps are on my ribs, right here. And the whole time, my legs are staying off the ground. Last little piece. If you are to the point where you can't do a push-up by yourself all the way down and come back up, all we're going to do is we're going to go down. When you get to the point to where you're at the bottom, drop to your knees, push back up, go back to your toes. So we're down on our toes, drop to your knees, push up, back to your toes. That's your regression. Do that if you can't do a regular push-up. For these guys, there's going to be no reason that we should do any more than you can past failure. So if you start losing form, and if you get to the point to where it starts looking a little shaky and you have to go down to your knees, do a few more and stop there. We don't want to go to the point of exhaustion.